Hello students, and welcome back to another course of the Iron Kingdoms with me, Professor Caster. Today we have finally made it. We've gotten to the Warbeast of the Troll Bloods, and we're going to be reading all of the, lore first, and then following weeks we'll be going over all the Warbeast, all the Dire Trolls, all the Elemental Trolls, all the regular Trolls, and all the Mobile Artillery Trolls, which are basically a Dire Troll with a gun attached to its back with a pig, usually the one who's firing. But we will get to those when we get to those. But first, thank you guys so much for showing up to class. If you could, please like, subscribe, let me know how you're enjoying this. Please comment. It does help keep this train rolling. And please tell your friends and fellow gamers about this channel. That also helps too. And a big thank you to Private Your Press for letting us read your fantastic lore. And without further ado, let's begin. Warbeast of the Troll Bloods. The Warbeast accompanying Trollkin warlocks into battle are far more than simple beasts to be broken beneath the yoke of the warlock's will. In fact, calling the trolls to serve the United Creole beasts hardly seem appropriate given their kinship with the Trollkin. Full-blood trolls and Trollkin are distant blood relations, because trolls are willing to battle participants and allies. Their warlocks sacrifice them only when there is no other choice. Trolls are some of the most resilient creatures in Imoran, and their incredible regenerative ability allows them to recover from wounds that would cripple or fatal to most other creatures. Their blood vessels seal almost instantaneously even from major injuries. Entire limbs are quickly regrown, and even pierced organs often repair themselves. This regeneration grants them immense staying power. The health of full-blooded trolls also extends their lifespans. They can live a very long time if they do not instead meet a violent end. So powerful are the regenerative powers of trolls that any significant severed piece of troll will survive and grow into a diminutive and short-lived creature called a whelp. These creatures are treated akin to pets and provide entertainment to trolls and Trollkin alike, though they are readily eaten if trolls get hungry. And Trollkin are only troll species that can't produce whelps, though whelps frequently attach themselves to Trollkin and enjoy emulating their behavior and clothing. Though all troll breeds are related by blood, their incredible adaptability allows them a vast array of subspecies. All are brutish and temperamental, but a number are intelligent enough to use weapons, and most can speak using a small but functional Mulgur troll vocabulary. And most common full-blood trolls can grasp relatively complex concepts, though they live simple lives. The gap between the smartest full-blood troll and the most dim-witted Trollkin is narrower than even some might expect. Still, there is significant differences between troll and Trollkin minds. While some trolls appreciate runic carvings, they are illiterate and unable to master the abstract thought required for reading and writing. Most trolls don't think far into the future and rapidly forget the past. They also don't demonstrate much imagination or creativity. Such mental gifts are reserved by Dunia for the Trollkin themselves. One trait shared between all trolls is having the hunger for a constant companion. Their regenerative metabolism requires substantial quantities of food, preferably fresh meat. Trolls have an amazing ability to digest nearly anything, and will sometimes eat rocks or wood, even substances that are toxic to other creatures. Such strange fare can take an edge off the hunger, but to gain lasting substance, a troll needs flesh. The fact that trolls rarely feel pain results in a lack of empathy, which combined with their insatiable hunger encourages them towards violent, aggressive behavior and disregard for life. These characteristics have made trolls the bane of civilized society. Humans in particular are terrified of trolls, and for good reason. Ferocity and size seems to go hand in hand with these creatures, and most ferocious trolls are also the largest. Regardless of size, it is truism that a well-fed troll is happier and more manageable troll. There is no place on Cain worse than standing in the path of a starving dire troll. And most trolls have, in fact, died trying to, talk to dire trolls. So that is always a problem. But I imagine if you're a troll talking to a dire troll, your chances of survival are a lot better than a human talking to a dire troll when they're hungry. So that is that. Troll types. Across the bewildering array of troll subspecies, there are a few distinct categories in which they fall, and each of these groups shares traits and behaviors. The most pervasive and numerous trolls are what Trollkins refer to as full-blood trolls. Large and fiercer than those are the dire trolls, monstrous beasts that were once shunned and avoided, but which have become increasingly important to the armed Creels. Greater still are the Troll Kings, mountains of flesh and stony growths that tower over dire trolls in the same way that those brutes loom over regular trolls. Other than these size distinctions, there are subspecies that demonstrate extreme adaptations to their environment. These elemental trolls have supernatural abilities and affinities drawn from their surroundings that give them a special niche as a warbeast, though they are less inclined to use weapons and are often dim-witted. Pygmy trolls are also considered true trolls and are the smallest and most intelligent type. Pigs have similar regenerative powers and abilities to create whelps, but are too small, intelligent, and even-tempered to become warbeasts. They are close enough to Trollkins to be considered peers instead, though they are not always treated as full equals in Trollkin society. Also, pigs are spelled P-Y-G for anybody that is not reading these guys outright. So they're not like pigs like, oink oink. They are pigs as just smaller forms of trolls. So I just want to make that clarification. Full-blooded trolls. Though the term full-blood troll is sometimes used to refer to any troll larger than a Trollkin, usually it signifies the most numerous and friendly of these brutes. The trolls can also be found in the wild, but a good number of these living with Trollkin creels for centuries. Full-blood trolls include a number of breeds and bloodlines, all around 9 to 12 feet tall and weighing twice as much or more than the average Trollkin. Of the trolls used as warbeasts, full-blood trolls are the closest in size and intellect to Trollkin themselves. There is a strong natural affinity between full-blood trolls and both Trollkin and pygmy trolls, such as even those in the wild rarely attack smaller trollish species unless provoked. Most trolls are disinclined to eat Trollkin as long as any other food source is available. Once they feel at home with the village, a full-blood troll can be given tasks without requiring the supervision of a warlock, since they understand a limited vocabulary, Mulgar Troll, and don't mind doing their share of work. So they're a little bit more civilized, but not quite as civilized as a regular Trollkin, and way taller. I've also noticed in battles with Trollkin in the past that it is very hard to distinguish in the midst of battle a Trollkin from a full-blood troll. Even though full-blood trolls are a little taller, not all that much. So, and I believe many people that have faced Trollkins will say the same, although dire trolls are definitely way bigger than all of the average. But let's continue. When a warlock is unavailable, a village shaman or a senior hunter or skinner might be tasked with wrangling trolls. Full-blood trolls need only be paid in food, paid quotation marks, in food, as they have no concept of ownership or property. Though some become fond of polished stones or favored weapons, and others like to keep trophies from notable kills, compared to larger breeds of these trolls can exercise some self-restraint, such as keeping extra food for later. If wounded, they feel a powerful urge to glut themselves to prime their regeneration. Warlocks have an easy time establishing bonds with full-blood trolls, facilitating the communication and training required to transform them into warbeasts. Taking place over several months, this process fosters cooperation and discourages bad behavior, such as eating things they shouldn't, as well as becoming acclimated to armor and weapons. Even in the wild, it is uncommon for trolls to garb themselves in simple hides, or to make use of crude weapons like bone clubs, or to employ salvaged weapons. They are not inclined to craft more elaborate gear on their own. Trolls equipped with heavy armor and steel weapons have been outfitted by Trollkin smiths. So yes, warbeasts do not make their own stuff in the Trollkin society. Now we know. And speaking on that, we have a little side panel here. Troll armaments. Although some full-blood trolls are intelligent enough to use weapons and wear protective armor, as evidenced by the Troll Axer and the Impaler, they lack the skill to craft such equipment themselves. This has led many Trollkin weapon and armor smiths to specialize in makings of oversized axes, spears, and other weapons for their larger kin to use. Dire trolls are not normally equipped with weapons of their own, though they are excellent weapon platforms, and dire troll blitzers with a pygmy troll operating a slugger is an example of a surprisingly effective innovation. And I always found it interesting that pygmies are willing to ride a dire troll, because, well, that seems like a snack just on your back if you need it. It seems like a very dangerous day for a pygmy, but they like to do that, so let's move on. Dire trolls. Dire trolls are massive beasts standing up to 18 feet tall and boasting huge grasping clawed hands and jutting tusks nearly 2 feet long. All dire trolls possess tremendous strength and tenacity, as well as the ever-present and overwhelming need to eat anything that ventures within reach. They lack the intellect of the smaller species and were until recently considered far too savage to approach, let alone command. In the last decade, the legendary shaman Harlock Doomshaper made it an extension of his life's work to bring the greater trolls to the Creels and train them as warbeasts. This has allowed Trollkin warbands to match the might of the Iron Kingdom's militaries. While Doomshaper opened the way, many other warlocks have bonded with dire trolls and added them to the warbands. Word has spread among the dire trolls that their smaller kin are friendly and willing to provide them with ample food. Some dire trolls have come of their own volition down from the mountains and out of the heart of the deepest forest to seek Creel leaders demanding food. This has been both a blessing and a curse, as Trollkin communities without warlock may not know how to manage such beasts. Not only are dire trolls temperamental and dangerous, they require huge volumes of food and can devour or scare off all nearby prey. Shamans try to encourage dire trolls to go where the fighting is fiercest, in the hopes that they will glut themselves on the enemies of the Creels. Even in the current climate, handling dire trolls requires considerable caution. No kin in the Trollkin village will trust a dire troll that isn't watched by a warlock, and the massive trolls are kept outside the walls unless needed for battle. The possibility of a dire troll scooping up nearby Trollkin offspring or a slow-moving elder as a snack when famished is far too great a risk. One boon to fighting Creels is the fact that dire trolls have a soft spot for pygmy trolls. Pigs have a calming effect on them, almost as if they were dire trolls' own offspring. While an especially hungry dire troll might still slip and eat the occasional pig, they are safer around the brutes than anyone else. This temperament has enabled creative use of dire trolls as weapon platforms, outfitting them with modern firepower. In such cases, a pig rides on the back of a dire troll to man the weapons or facilitate their use. Such coordination requires mutual training, and pig aces earn special esteem among their kind. For their part, individual dire trolls can develop strong emotional attachments to warlocks they fight alongside, and the bond can override aggressive behavior. Still, a dire troll can only be fully trusted if it has access to sufficient food. So dire trolls keep them well fed, or they will find food themselves, and the food that they will find you do not want them to eat. So, word of warning to all the Trollkin that may want to use a dire troll, or at least have them anywhere that is outside of a standard battlefield. Let's move on. Elemental trolls. Elemental trolls comprise a variety of subspecies found among both full-blood and dire trolls, and they have a deep connection to the environment or a natural element, such as cold, earth, or fire. The unusual diets of these trolls may play a role in the changing of their physiology and augmenting their abilities. The pyre troll's ability to spew flame might have developed from its consumption of the black combustible oil that wells from the ground of the Bloodstone Marches. A slag troll's penchant for eating stone and metal has forced it to evolve powerful stomach acids that can disgorge as weapons. These trolls dwell in secluded, desolate regions, and their natures have much to do with their surroundings. There are storm trolls from the stormlands near the abyss that can generate deadly voltaic energies, and winter trolls of the cold northern mountains can immobilize prey with their icy breath. All of these trolls are thought to embody the hardiness of the troll kind and to reflect the ways Dunia blessed her favored creatures. There are dire trolls with similar adaptations, such as the earthborn dire troll. Their bodies draw the natural features of their surroundings to empower them, taking adaptability to another level, roaming in the northern mountains as dire trolls who resemble the smaller winter troll cousins. Yes, so not only are trolls big and dangerous, they can also pull elemental powers, allowing them to use things like fire, ice, electricity, or the earth itself, or acid, And everybody that's ever gone up against anybody that uses acid as a weapon will know how, well, destructive it is. So be careful around these guys. Finishing off, the Troll Kings. The greatest and most powerful of trolls are the Troll Kings, primordial creatures that are inextricably connected to their environment. These titanic creatures, some over 30 feet tall, are verifiably forces of nature. Most Trollkin rightfully view them as legends come to life. Indeed, these beings are bound up in Dunia's mythology. Thought to have been the first children of Dunia and the Devourer Worm, and the origin of all lesser trolls. Though they hunger and feel driven to feast, they seem to be immortal and ageless. Little of any certainty is known about these creatures, and they have been fighting alongside warlocks for a few short years. For thousands of years they were forgotten, most of them sealed away ages ago by the Trollkin who feared their unending hunger. A great Dunia ceremony performed by Harlock Doomshaper in the Wormwall Mountains had far-reaching ramifications, rousing these creatures to break their chains and make their way to the surface. It isn't clear how many types of Troll Kings there are. Those imprisoned below the mountains resemble the craggy peaks they inhabited, while others from the frozen north have a glacier-like aspect. Another brine-soaked breed has arisen from the depths of the Meridius and its myriad of seas. All of the qualities of dire trolls are magnified in the Troll Kings, making them truly perilous allies. And they cannot be trained or tamed, only restrained by the iron will of the veteran warlock. Attaining their cooperation requires ritualistic summons and offerings of ample food. It remains to be seen if Creels can coexist with these gargantuan beasts without war to distract them. Perhaps it is fortunate that the United Creels have no shortage of enemies. So yeah, that's what we are going to be getting into on these next few weeks. We're going to be going over all the True Blood trolls, then we're going to be going over all of the Dire trolls, then the Elemental trolls, and then the Troll Kings themselves, probably in that order. But stick around, we'll keep going. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, comment, let me know how you're enjoying this. Let me know if there's anything you're excited to talk about while we're in the Warbeast chapters of these. Also, let your friends and fellow gamers know about this channel. Helps keep this Steam train rolling. A big thank you to Privateer Press for letting us keep reading their fantastic lore. And as always, class dismissed.